That's he's the one that owns Chun-Li, so it's worth $2 million.
It was rumored that Riot was going to implement that like NFT stuff into their fighting games, so
yeah,
it could happen.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We're live. Yeah,
we are live on the SideQuest.
I've been here the whole time.
Been here the whole time. Get ready,
Talking
all
shit about
NFT gaming all the time. I am Dolly Demovsky.
Did you forget your own name, Dolly?
I can't. All right, I gotta remember to point. Above me is SideQuest. Right there with my superhuman finger is JJ.
Weird finger down there.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't do it. I don't get that. Yeah.
There's Taylor.
Yeah.
You can't even do it.
There you go. There you go. Look, it's like a
Jesus. It's like you're using a piece of software to artificially make your fingers longer, Dolly. What's wrong with you?
Mr. Fantastic over here with this.
How's it going, my friends?
I don't know.
Pretty good.
I'm about to commit one of the podcast sins.
Uh-oh. What's
I'm
that?
gonna eat on the show.
Hey, that's all right.
Okay.
What are you eating?
Sweet
good?
tarts.
Ooh,
Oh.
sweet tarts. Candy from your baby from All Hallows Eve. Look at that.
No, it's from CVS actually.
Oh, all right.
Dude,
Good.
we went down to
That's
the supermarket to see if they had candy on sale, and they already had Christmas candy out.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it was just gone.
I was at Target.
They
like, a week ago.
figured out the grip. They figured out how to like bypass the seasonality aspect and just not lose.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Not fair.
I thought
Not
me and
fair.
Zach were wearing the same. I thought me and Zach were wearing the same shirt for a second. We're both very
Wait,
much in this.
Do you have a Sailor Moon shirt on?
Mine's Sailor Moon and tie dye, and yours.
Mine's a Sailor Moon.
Beautiful. That's awesome.
Oh
That's
my
fantastic. This is how it starts, my friends. Well, we're going to have a good show, as we always do. So that's good. We're going to get into some news here.
You're about to introduce yourself again, even though we.
I am
I'm Dolly
Demovsky.
Demovsky.
I'm Dolly. Dolly Demovsky. Let's get into a little bit of news before we get into what we've been playing. It was a week. There were some things happening.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna start with the delay season, which is always a good one. Man, I got hair or something on my face. Hey, guess what? Let me share the screen with all these wonderful pieces of delay info that came in. Yeah, there's a lot more shit got delayed as usual. Part of my French. Hey, remember Prince of Persia?
Nope.
No.
I don't think anybody does.
That game came out a while ago. That was an old game.
It's on the GameCube,
I have
I think.
I have it on my GameCube.
2003, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, there was a remake supposedly coming, but that got delayed. And it's sometime next year.
I do like that that's just official trailer PlayStation 4 to really let you know.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. Yeah. Are there even PlayStation 4s left? I don't know. But yeah, that's been delayed. Hey, remember Cyberpunk 2077's next gen version got delayed? Hey, guess what else got delayed? I don't know how you can delay something that's already been delayed, but they managed to delay all the DLC and all the little content updates that they planned for the rest of this year. It's delayed till sometime next year. So yeah, everything planned for 2021 is now 2022.
That's it. We're delaying the next 6 months. Just put the whole 6 months later.
We're delaying November and December of 2021, just in general. So at some point,
That's not coming out in the summer.
Yep. Another Ubisoft delay is Division Heartland. Remember that free-to-play version they're making? That's also been delayed into 2022.
Right.
And the one that I'm actually kind of interested in is Rocksmith Plus.
Yeah, I actually did think I remember of all the things. I actually remember that one positively.
I want to play it. I want to learn how to play guitar, and I've heard from several of my friends that have used Rocksmith. They really enjoyed it. for their guitar education, and so yeah, I'm a little bummed that got delayed into.
It's good to see them using a realistic time scale, which is the entirety of the next fiscal year, though.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you know what? Sometime between March and March of 2022 to 2023. So
I mean, look, we've seen what they've done with Beyond Good and Evil. We know what they're capable of.
Dude, I remember one time they showed off gameplay of Beyond Good and Evil 2, and they didn't even talk. Yeah, they showed off gameplay before a presentation, and they didn't even mention it.
Yeah, it didn't even come up on main show. Yeah.
Huh. I just remember that one. I just remember that one long trailer.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
it was a good trailer.
It was
8 years ago.
8 years ago. Another game that seems like it was delayed several times. I'm going to skip down here real quick. Digimon Survive.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot about that game. That was initially supposed to launch in 2019, and now it's 2022.
Haven't they released other Digimon games since then?
I'm sure that. Didn't they have like a little
games?
Yeah, the Cyber Sleuth
game. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they re-released original Digimon Tamagotchi things.
That's what I was going to mention, the Digimon Tamagotchi stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Pokemon's not getting delayed, so there. Tails.
Yeah.
Maybe it should.
Yeah.
Then Shadow Warrior 3.
Not this time.
Not this time. Shadow Warrior 3 is also getting delayed.
Shadow Warrior 3 looks sick, dude.
Yeah,
that game looks nice.
Looks good. So yeah, there you go. Delay of game. It's delay season. That's kind of normal, I guess, at this point.
Oh yeah, and Elden Ring. We've probably already talked about that.
I think we mentioned that one last week. That was a light delay though.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
It's gonna get pushed again.
That was the first thing that we said. Was like, this is too small of a delay.
Yeah. 1 month, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. So when the game does come out a buggy mess, that
no way, no benefits, no doubts,
no benefits. You know what? That should have been titled instead of House of Dank. No benefits, no doubts. I like that. House of Dank. Here's why we're called House of Dank this week. So every time I go to the office, so now that weed and marijuana and anything you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, is legal here in Michigan, companies been sprouting all over the place to sell the goods, and there's a company called House of Dank that sells. Oh, look at you zooming in there. That's been one of the newer retailers in the area, and so every time I drive home, I see it's just a big black sign with in white letters House of Dank.
Beware the House of Dank.
Beware the House.
Yeah, have you gone in yet?
Funniest thing. No, I mean it's just a billboard that I see on the drive home. So I'm like, oh shit, that's just first of all, that's just the coolest name for a weed supply shop.
So
like,
cool.
So cool. Remember, I'm a 42-year-old dad, so that is cool to me, guys.
There used to be a pot place nearby that was called the Tacoma Holistic Collective, which was THC, that everyone thought was the funniest thing in the world.
See, now,
so clever.
So clever. Losers.
Listen, all right. Aaron, Scratty Bones Kelly, rest in peace, would be thankful for that. Rest in peace. Take a shot.
I actually had a moment where I was like, "Oh fuck, he died." Because sometimes I just really don't know what happens to Aaron, and like I do get scared. And then I remember that he posted about the article that he got on VentureBeat, and I was like, "Oh no, he's good."
He might as well be dead. I mean, that's the grub that steals your soul.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah. No, Aaron had a great article over at VentureBeat posting about all the money that Microsoft is making.
A bunch of numbers that he has no idea how to interpret. But
yeah.
No, he's an analyst.
Yeah.
He is now officially
very qualified.
Yeah. That's what we trained him for here.
Yeah, we did it. We did it, guys.
Yeah, you can blame everything on Dally for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. Let's see. We talked about Grand Theft Auto Trilogy last week. You guys heard of Meta?
Oh god,
Isn't that the
that was this week, wasn't it?
Isn't that the League of Legends competitive?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the basketball player. Remember Meta World?
It's the,
Yeah.
yes.
The
Meta World
Facebook event feels like it was 2 weeks ago.
1,000 years ago.
It really does. Well, I bring it up because they're in order to get away from everything that's bad about the name Facebook, they've decided to rebrand themselves as Meta, at least the name company, kind of like what Google did with Alphabet. Yeah. So they are now Meta, but they've also rebranded Oculus. The Oculus brand is dead. It is now Meta. Yeah. It's the Meta Quest. And
MetaQuest, that's your new name, Zach.
Whoa.
MetaQuest. Here's my theory on this, and I actually think it's probably leaning towards true. So Facebook doesn't have a home of their own, and what I mean by that is like hardware of their own. You have they bought Oculus for VR, but all their interface with the public is on phones and on computers, which other platform holders own, right? So that's Android and iOS
Didn't they try the phone thing once?
They tried and failed.
Okay.
And so they realized
I couldn't remember if that was a fever dream or not.
And so they realized they can't get, and they've kind of hit sort of a peak, especially with everything going on right now. They've hit sort of a peak with Facebook proper. And so I think that's why they're pushing into VR, and they really want to make Meta. Oh, this is something completely different. And and by the way, we're the only ones that offer the hardware that'll get you into the metaverse, and you want to be a part of this thing. Again, none of us know what the metaverse is.
Is that why, based on that?
Shut up, Corey.
Is that why they're stripping the Facebook integration out of Quest? Out of the
no. So here's the thing. What this all comes down to, how bad the Facebook requirement was looking for them and the future of VR. And I actually think that it's a much simpler explanation. I think that oh my god, I tried to prep this and I forgot what's his face's name.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. I literally just said the name fell out of my brain. And I think that Zuckerberg actually believes in VR and wants, and like, whether or not he is right about it being as important and integral to the future of kind of interfacing technology is up for debate. But I think that he actually believes that. And the thought of Facebook integration preventing on like new people from joining that was like, oh shit. I think that is actually the 100% driving force of rebranding. And also like they saw what Alphabet did with Google, or what Google did with Alphabet, and was like, this is probably good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's just like it all coalesces down into that. But to say that you don't need a Facebook account is technically true. The only difference is that now instead you need a Meta account.
A Meta account.
Yeah. Which is an account that supersedes a Facebook account. So, are you really dodging it? I mean, maybe. I mean, as much as you believe that Zuckerberg running Meta isn't also using all of their tactics to scrape as much of your data as possible from your Meta account. I don't trust that at all, personally. There's no way.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, it's like it's not a Facebook account, but I could take the Meta account that I use to log into my Quest and go and log into Facebook with that account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just wild to me that they chose the metaverse as the name when there's like a very popular book called Snow Crash that talks about this exact thing. It's
do you
weird.
only know of Snow Crash because of that Tim Rogers video?
No,
I'm just kidding. Snow Crash is actually really good.
Yeah, but no, it's just
I just watched that Action Button video, all beautiful, glorious cyberpunk.
You watched all of it? What?
I did, man. You guys got me hooked on it. Great job to Tim Rogers for that.
Dude,
very good.
Horrible influences on me.
Very good and professional radio there, Dally.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's just weird how they name it the same thing as in that book, and in that book, it's about like these socioeconomic problems that come up in this universe, and that's what's going to happen here too.
Right.
It's very weird that there's very on the nose, like, hey, we're going to name it the same thing inside this book. And
when has the tech sector ever shown you that they have even a hint of, they named that one Soylent. Like, there's not even like
yeah,
that's true. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Just climbing around.
Why does Mark Zuckerberg's avatar look more human than him?
It looks more, yeah, you're right. Oh goodness.
I'm coming for him.
Look at that. They're having a conversation in our freaking chat.
Good.
Mods.
Playland, good. Made it. Woo! Mods, get these guys out of here.
I mean, I think one of the things that's frustrating about it for me is that Zuckerberg and Facebook or Meta or whatever are the only ones talking about any type of interesting future of VR outside of what is currently in existence, albeit in a dystopian sci-fi tapestry.
Ready Player style here.
It's just like, but it's the most interesting thing that anybody's discussed about future of VR. I don't know, like, period. I don't know. We haven't heard a new idea about what VR is and can be outside of this.
Well, they're the only ones they're the only ones with a VR headset that is pretending they're anything other than a gaming platform. Like,
yeah,
that's true.
It reminds me of Digimon. Anyone who's familiar, like, because in the Digimon universe, all their like businesses and like stocks and technology stuff exists inside this metaverse, and that's where the Digimon come from. They're these little things that exist in this universe, and the kids protect that kind of. That's a whole thing. But it just reminds me of that, using an avatar kind of like to go to work in this metaverse that could eventually, be hacked and stuff, because that happens in Digimon, where the Digimon will hack and they get into the missiles and like launch missiles against other countries, and it's like
Digimon's such a wild show when you get into the deep stuff.
Anyways, so about that state of play, right? That amazing state of play that happened.
Let's talk about that state of play.
This is the worst state of play I think we've seen.
We said that, well, maybe we'll do an episode after the state of play. Then the state of play up aired, and we're like, no, we're not doing an episode after the state.
It was very bad.
It was so bad.
I came back and watched it. I think I was at work because I worked in the office, and I mean, I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. After the first like 2 trailers, I was just like on the fast forward button. That wasn't a lot to hold interest.
No,
Deathverse didn't excite you?
Which one?
Deathverse.
Deathverse.
You couldn't pay me money to tell you what that is.
I don't remember.
It's just weird to me that they're showing off all these games that are multi-platform games. All of them.
Yeah.
There's
like
nothing that's like an exclusive.
I really think it was just a YouTube trailer dump that they just like, let's cancel that. Let's string it together with some voiceover in between and call it a state of play and get some fucking get some positive press out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it doesn't look good. It's Star Ocean at the end of the day. That's its biggest problem.
I'm just scrolling through the chat and I see Corey, Star Ocean, baby. I'm like,
Corey, was Star Ocean exclusive?
No,
that's also multi-plat.
Yeah, all of it.
Oh my god!
Every game I think except Let It Die, maybe. Like,
you're gonna make us watch Deathverse.
Be honest, Allie. 19. Oh my god, he was honest. What are you doing?
How you guys know my? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, if I put it at 17, you guys wouldn't got me. Anyways,
oh yeah, this one.
Oh yeah, this gross ass thing.
It's not a Souls-like dungeon crawler anymore. It's like a arena fighter game. I don't know.
It just
Yeah.
it looks fine. I don't know.
I mean, I like his aesthetic. I like the grasshopper aesthetic a lot,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's not enough to make me want to play this.
Whatever. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We are OFK.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, that's exclusive. That is like their exclusive.
Oh yeah, that's an exclusive. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, who is it for?
I mean,
Yeah.
this was honestly one of the more interesting things that was on
Yeah.
the whole presentation. It's just not for me.
Yeah,
There was definitely an audience for it, though.
It's like, yeah, it's like cashing in on sort of the VTuber kind of craze a little bit. You create a band, and
As Corey says, it is for me.
yes, this definitely has.
it's. I mean, I think the concept behind it is cool.
Yeah,
It's it's just kind of weird how I just hate the attitude that the trailer has. Is like, you know us, like we're so cool. It's like, no, I don't. Like,
you need to introduce us better.
yeah, it's a strange trailer. Like, I'll play it. It looks like something that I would like. So, yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
Next
cool.
on the list, Bug Snacks. There we go. Bug Snacks. The Isle of Big Snacks. Look at that.
Dude, that game,
Giant-
man, that game's
Giant world
ending
for
is
Mario
crazy.
I didn't play it.
It's a giant what?
I said it's the giant world for Mario 3.
Oh yes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Wait, so am I the only person on the podcast that has played this game?
No, I
Did
played
I
Bug
played it.
Snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
It was
you
free.
beat it? So you beat the game, right?
No.
Dude,
No, I did. I'm right at the end.
It's
right at
like
the end, though.
the game goes places, man. It's crazy. I'm just glad
Yeah,
that this
does.
is like
Yeah, it does.
this is like a separate thing on its own little island, different characters. I'm glad that it's that, and they're not touching on the cast from the main island because I don't know how they could continue the story of where it goes. So, yeah, I don't know.
And hats.
Having a house and stuff seems pretty cool. I'm always for like grinding and farming and stuff. So whatever.
Weird.
We don't have to watch
Bug
the rest
Snacks.
of this trailer. We know what
Nope.
Bug Snacks-
Five Nights at Freddy's. Cool. Pass.
It's
I thought he was done making Five Nights. Did somebody else take it over?
I think
Didn't
it's a
he-
different studio, but it's like
Yeah.
I think he gave up like
This
the
is-
IP to somebody else.
yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
this is a different type of game. Like,
It's crazy how it still looks
Yeah.
like shit though.
yeah.
Like, yes, sorry, it looks like shit. I can't believe
Death's
Sony
Door
puts
is
that
coming to
game in
everything.
there.
Yeah.
Why
So
does
Death's
Sony-
Door is one of the weirdest ones to me
Yeah,
because this game came out 2 months ago. It's
like
not
what they
even.
did with Hades.
It's not even a new multi-plat.
Mm,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's now on things other than Xbox and PC.
Yeah, all right,
cool.
true.
It's like how Hades found itself on like every digital presentation. Like, now we're on Xbox, now we're on Switch, now we're here.
Yeah, but
Well,
at least that
what is
one was
it?
game. That was a game of the year game, but
Yeah, well, like at least with Hades, they did the Epic exclusive thing to
Yeah.
like refine it, and then they launched on Steam, and then they got to 1.0 and launched on Steam and then Xbox, and they did that right. I don't. There's a correct way to do it, and it's not this. So
Mm-hmm.
Pre-order now
You
and
play
get
it later
Titan
this month.
Souls for free. Is that what?
Yeah,
it
it's
is?
Yeah.
yeah, because it's the studio's first game
Yeah.
was Titan
Yeah.
Souls.
I liked Titan Souls. That was a fun. little
I remember
excursion.
Titan Souls at PAX
On the Vita.
East, on the Vita, and then there was
PS3.
there was a Elder Souls or Elden Souls or like Elden Titan. There was like a very similar style game that was
Yeah,
out, like,
no,
really,
because
like,
it was at that time where everyone was making their
Yeah.
own. Like, what if we did Souls game but like 2D? Let's try
Yeah.
it.
what if we did a Zelda game that's like a Dark Souls game?
What if we did a cart game, guys?
With
This is-
absolutely no
Dude, this is by Nexon Korea. I don't know if you guys are
Metabots. No.
familiar with Nexon, but
Megabots.
they make a lot of Korean MMORPGs. This is their kart rider game that's been popular on PC for forever. I don't know. I mean, I guess Sony wants a kart riding game, a kart racer, so whatever.
Isn't the Final Fantasy 1 coming.
True, but it's also going to be on other consoles.
King of Fighters open beta test.
Yeah. Get me a code for King of Fighters.
Alright, First Class Trouble, which is like Among Us, but with
Among Us and
spoopy. No.
What was that? Yeah, what was that sniper game that was that 1v1 sniper game that was?
Where you're like at the
Deathloop? No, just kidding.
no.
where you're at like a party or like a museum and stuff.
Yeah, one person is like a spy doing objectives, and the other person is trying to find them.
Yeah, and they're trying to look like the AI. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was never releasing ever.
Yeah, it was like it's Spy Party.
Spy Party. Yeah.
It has that aesthetic of Spy Party.
Except jankier, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the
Don't play this
straight
right
here.
Don't play this
Corey,
straight.
here you go.
Dude, how do they design characters and make them look so bad? They look horrid.
No.
I was like, oh, try Ace. It's got to be a Star Ocean game. What was the one that was on the PS2? I think there were probably a couple, but there was one that was on there. That was such a bizarre. Till the end of
time, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, it was the one where you were actually within like an MMO for other people. It was like a Matrix style one.
That was the twist. The twist was you're in a video game.
So you're in a video game. But I remember the character design. Because of the proportions they were using, they tried to make anime characters into 3D for the first time, and it looked so awkward to me that it was just not. Yeah.
Give your main protagonist the old Missouri waterfall haircut there. That's great.
Yes.
I don't think the studio can pull off these environments, dude. They're pushing it, man.
Yeah. Tiny little heads. Yeah.
As Corey says.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, just look at that. Hey, whatever. It's Star Ocean. I guess they're still interesting games. I know that they had one come out on like iOS recently too, or mobile or something.
Ooh, those are fun. Unlike the main games.
Weird. I don't know. I like
such a Star Ocean hater.
And then Little Devil.
This game looks so cool.
This game actually like the only game that was actually really interesting to me.
Yeah. It was the only one that actually seemed like it was like,
seemed like it was something in like that's going to be talked about instead of dude, the aesthetic in this is so cool. I just love kind of like the laid back kind of like feeling of it.
You guys think that Little Devil Inside is going to come out on Wii U like they announced?
Was that really supposed to be out on Wii U?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Little Devil Inside has been in development for a long time.
It's been cooking for like a decade, so and it kind of shows like the presentation with like the little like dolls and like the zooming out. It's just really interesting. I love the way they do these like diorama things when they zoom in for like characters talking or going to like that mansion and stuff. Reminds me of a Yoko Taro game, how he does his camera stuff. It's just really cool, a really interesting way to tell a story. And the combat they showed where like you like stab a bad guy and you throw the bodies at other things and knock them over. Pretty cool. And then also at E3 they showed like a fishing thing, like you're fighting giant squids and shit. Like it just looks very interesting. So I'm like really excited about this.
I mean, I'm excited about any game that uses depth of field in an interesting way.
Yes.
I feel like it just there's always something incredibly striking about it that it makes me and where it's just like it's just kind of weird that how few games I mean, maybe it's difficult. I don't know. I've never made a game.
Yoko Taro does it for like $1, so I'm pretty sure anybody else could.
He hops on Fiverr and gets. It's like, yo, can anybody do depth of field for me, please? Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyways, Little Devil Inside. That was they saved the best one for the last one, but that was it. That was your state of play.
Yeah.
Dookie.
So Little Devil Inside was originally a Kickstarter game.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, 2015. Wii U was one of the stretch goals.
Oh my goodness.
And then Switch came out 18 months later, so they were like, okay, no more Wii U. This is Switch now.
We spent $10,000 on that Wii U press kit. What do we do?
What? Oh no!
We're one of the only ones that have one. Other news, and I thought this was actually kind of interesting. We were just kind of talking about this because the news broke today. Let me share the official announcement. Sega and Microsoft are exploring a strategic alliance.
Yep.
Weird.
To establish next-gen development, a next-gen development environment. They're looking at Azure for a lot of the cloud stuff there. I don't think they mention it.
I mean, it makes sense in Japan because Japan has the infrastructure for it. So it's like, okay, it makes sense. But yeah, Microsoft needs a foot over there because they don't really have anything. And Sega is definitely a good chunk to get over there in Japan.
I think
so they can say like, hey, we'll help you with this like cloud stuff, and we can get this game on the Xbox or whatever, you know. Yeah.
I mean, the Yakuza shit on Game Pass has been a huge fucking hit. So
yep. I think one of the values of this is that Sega's working on their online stuff. They have what they're calling their super games. There's kind of their big properties, essentially like Yakuza, letting next level up from Yakuza. So they're really trying to incorporate a lot of different technologies into what they're playing with their game development, and they can't do that alone. Sega isn't. It's a big company, but it's not the biggest company anymore. You know, it's not like a giant rival anymore to companies like Nintendo or even maybe Square Enix or anybody. So they do need some help, and but they have great IPs. They have great game devs. They need that tech support side, the technology side, and Microsoft is. You're right on, Zach. They're looking to get a foothold in there, and whether they can do it directly. I mean, the Series S and X have done better than the Xbox One and the 360 did, but it's they're still selling less than I think than the 2DS, so than the Switch Lite, so that's an issue. But it's something, they're getting this gets Microsoft into the conversation with a lot of other developers and things like that. So it serves it's great for different reasons for both the companies.
Yeah, with Japanese consumers, they for whatever reason they need to be told this is a thing made by blank that is good for this, and then they'll use it. It's just weird how their market is so opposite to kind of how ours is. So to have Sega, who's big over there, have this hey, you can play Game Pass or games on your phone, which is a huge market for Japanese devs and industry. It'll be good for them. I think it might be pretty big if they're able to nail it. But it's just the Japanese market is so strange, dude. It's so crazy.
Microsoft wants in. They're trying to make it happen in a big way.
Put Daytona USA in the Forza. That's all I'm saying. That's just
it. Surely that's the way in.
That's the answer. That's
JJ.
the answer now.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, go. Sorry.
No, get that theme song right into.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there you go. There's your Forza DLC. No, but I wouldn't be surprised if this could potentially give developmental access for Sega to Microsoft resources, very similar to Microsoft reaching out to, was it Crystal Dynamics for whatever that game was. You really only have a certain amount of resources for things. And
I remember the first Tomb Raider was an Xbox game. It was
So I think there's definitely definitely opportunities for both companies. Little bit of sad news on this next bit of news.
Ubisoft is making NFT games.
No, I'm not gonna see that. No, F that. NF, put the F into NFT. No, PAX South is no more. Zach, the closest event to you is no longer.
Darn.
PAX South hasn't happened for a couple years, right? It didn't happen last year. and it's not happening again this year because
it's
of
kind of
COVID. And,
from what I know, RTX kind of took over what PAX does for most people, so it kind of just doesn't really need to exist. So,
yeah,
I think, and again, we talked about it in the group. This is where PAX is going to be changing going forward. I mean, PAX East, I think, will still be PAX East because PAX East was always a fantastic show.
Yeah,
PAX West is going to be interesting because Nintendo and Xbox, Microsoft are out there, but then there's
it's also the hometown for the people that put on the shows.
Exactly. But everywhere else, seeing themed PAXs or camp PAX, because the company that owns owns PAX now isn't Penny Arcade anymore. It's Reed Pop and whoever owns Reed Pop, but they're a massive show. They put on what's that?
I say Reed Pop puts on the Seattle Emerald City Comic Con down here. So.
Emerald City Comic Con, a bunch of Comic Cons. I think they put on the Wizard World stuff too, or no? Maybe
I think Wizard's its own separate thing.
Okay, but yeah, so there's a lot of conferences, and I think this is where you start to look at, like you said. I mean, I think your idea of a Camp PAX would be badass.
I wish that'd be fun. Just a nice.
It's never gonna happen.
No, there's too much money, and they've spent too much on branding to ever. If they did a Camp PAX, it would be its own separate small stupid thing.
But I do think there's opportunity for PAX to really kind of branch out. And PAX South didn't work, but maybe there's something where PAX South is a different type of event going forward, and different. Maybe it rotates. Maybe it goes to Texas one year, or Florida, or Santa Fe, or whatever. But there could be.
Well,
really
I mean, PAX South just only made sense because it was a huge indie scene down there, and there's a lot of development studios in Texas, so it made sense to put PAX down there. Putting it in like Florida doesn't really have the same bite as Texas.
No, but it does brings an event to other people. Maybe there's a different way to. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's smaller scale. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. I'm throwing ideas out there. I'm trying to brainstorm.
Load up PAX in a truck and drive it across the country like they did in the 90s.
That would actually be kind of awesome. PAX Express. All right. Any other news that we want to jump into? Any other news?
PAX Sun selling video games.
Yeah.
PAX Sun. I love that idea. Okay. That's a good one.
No, listen, you didn't listen to the joke. That's fine.
PAX Sun selling video games. Did you not see that post?
PAX Sun, Pacific Sunwear,
Sun.
The mall.
Yes.
The mall actively selling video games. So.
Okay. All right. But I like the idea of PAX Sun as well.
Summertime, cross country.
I'm trying.
We didn't talk about one of the biggest news bits of the week. Roblox was down.
Oh yeah.
For almost 3 days.
Yeah, Chipotle killed Roblox.
Let me say, my daughter came at me with hourly updates on Roblox being down.
Feet on the street.
Roblox.
Yeah,
feet on the street.
So
a girl on the street.
Did she have a specific source of news and updates for this Roblox status?
Twitter and YouTube.
Okay.
And what I mean by Twitter is a lot of the YouTubers that she follows also have Twitter stuff, and they tweet stuff out faster than they get the YouTube videos out. But the YouTube videos, just talking about Roblox being down, were massively viewed, and all they did was like every couple hours, like, it's still down, guys, it's still down, and then you have all your.
Could you imagine being a Roblox YouTuber and you're like, "Let's go, baby! It's time." Easiest content of the month.
Easiest. No, it's funny because she said that they started playing other games like educational stuff because that's what was available, but they didn't want to get away from like their core demographic, which is kids, right? So you can't like, all right, kids, I know we were just playing. That's what they were playing. It's a real thing. My daughter is on there a lot. Coolmathgames.com. But yeah, so you have to stick to your demographic. But yeah, that was not Chipotle apparently.
Yeah, according to Roblox, it wasn't. It's just coincidental that they were Chipotle was giving out free burritos when Roblox went down.
Wow.
I think that was it.
Okay.
Other than like this is BS news, but the Nintendo Online expansion pack reached 100,000 dislikes on the YouTube video.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Nintendo's channel's single most disliked video on YouTube. They have managed to bomb out on this PR.
The biggest way possible.
It's oof. What a little bit of interesting tidbit on it. And only because I just happen to be, for everybody who's noticed the fact that I'm like not looking forward. I was just browsing around. So somebody did a kind of retrospective video about history of emulation. It's like, hey, why was the stuff that came out like on the Wii and playing games on the GameCube, those worked? Like what happened? Mm-hmm. And the answer is that they used to pay somebody, a software engineer. Wow, Dally, that was a good purchase. Good, nice pickup.
I literally just have one of each.
So basically, they used to. They had a guy named Stephen Lee, and he had a team. And when they made the Wii Virtual Console, that team made basically an individual emulator for every N64 game that came to the Virtual Console. And now, obviously, those emulators are going to be very similar, and it's mostly tweaking. But, the reason why they ran the way that they did is because every single one was hand programmed for each individual game that they did. And then Stephen Lee left Nintendo in 2011, and then they made the Wii U. And it's been that way ever since. They know how to do it. They did it over 10 years ago. There's no way that there's nobody out there who can replicate what they used to do if they put the price tag high enough. There's no way. I'm sure Stephen Lee is still out there doing something else. But yeah, so this I saw that, found it was interesting. I wanted to mention it because man, God, those Nintendo Switch Online emulations are bad. God, they're really bad. Anyway,
all right.
Is that for news? Anybody else?
I think it's it.
I was gonna say I watched the Ocarina of Time biggest speedrunner play it for the first time. His first hands-on.
He loved it.
He pressed one button, and the first button he pressed, and he said, "Uh-oh." Like, he knew, like, the first button pressed.
Is that the video you posted in the Discord? Because I watched that.
Yeah, he was like, "Uh-oh, there's something off." It was great.
He when he fell into a panic attack when he saw all the fog in that game.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, when you pull out the stick, is it the same thing that happens in the Wii U Virtual Console where you split your texture and Link like starts to explode?" He was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then he went on. Then he went online. All his friends hopped in, and the game just like started chugging. Like, play the game. Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun, all right. Let's get into what we've been playing, because we've been playing some stuff.
We've been gaming.
We've been gaming.
What? Who wants to go first?
Mine's uninteresting.
How about one of the guys with the? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, mine's been uninteresting, so I'll go first. I've been still playing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
That game's fucking sick. That game is really good. Like, actually genuinely good, and not just. I love the Avengers. No. It's actually a good game with a great story. Like, it's actually written real well. It's doing a lot with the cosmic Marvel stuff, which has been very
a lot of
fun
people
so
are
far.
saying that the story actually gets like heartwarming and teary-eyed in a couple places.
I've seen some people who are like Marvel fans say that they prefer this cast over the movie cast.
It's a much better realization because it sort of combines. It just, they took the movie and they took the comics and sort of blended them. But
so Garfield / Mario is not in this one.
Yeah, no, sadly not.
No. but he definitely. But yeah,
There's also
the characters
there's
are
more.
different.
There's more you can get away with when you're just voice acting, and you can, because not that I think that anybody in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie cast is particularly bad, but when you have to cast for body appearance and everything else, when instead of just casting purely for, hey, this is the visual style we're going for, and then you work with a voice director to decide, how close can you get to this to be a directorial vision. There's a lot more that you can accomplish there, and that's always going to be the case. So, it's not everybody executes it, but the fact that they did is cool.
Yeah, there's been some cool characters that have popped up and some references to some stuff, and the story plotline seems to be really going somewhere real fast. That I'm interested to see where it's heading. But it's cool because it is just a single player game. Like, you have this team, but you're only playing as Star-Lord.
Sure.
And you start like unlocking more moves for your crew, and you can really string together some interesting stuff, like having Groot hold down the enemies with his roots, while you have Gamora like rocket throwing gravity grenades and things like that. And there's this cool huddle mechanic, which, like, it's basically like your ultimate finisher kind of thing, except it's just a big buff. So everyone gets into a huddle while music starts blaring, and they're like talking to you, and you have to sort of choose the right option to get the crew like pumped up to go out there and get like a maximum buff into this big fight that you're having or whatever. It's kind of a cool way of doing like a super move with that. So it's definitely, if you're even vaguely. I also tried it on the Switch. I tried the demo that they did on the Switch, and do not. That is the worst, as you would expect, the worst possible way to play that. Switch cloud gaming. Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it?
No, but actually, I've had some pretty decent experiences with some of the third party.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. The Control one was pretty good.
Yeah, the Control one and the Hitman one was pretty good, and the Resident Evil 7 one was pretty good. But like this one is not. I think it's because it's a much faster game than a lot of those other ones. Okay. Like Resident Evil 7's slow, and like even Hitman is a slower game, but this one's much more action packed with some platforming and stuff in it. So it kind of
platforming.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a fun game. I can't wait to once we get off this, I'm going right back to it. Nice. And I also got the Mario Party game that just came out.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
I saw you playing that. I saw that pop up on the. Tell me about this Mario Party. It's the best of, isn't it?
It's the best of. It's got 5 boards from the first 3 Mario Party games. Like, so it's spread across for the Nintendo 64 games. Okay. But then, like, the games list itself is a greatest hits from like all of the Mario Party games, not just Nintendo 64 games. So there's like Wii ones and stuff like that in there. Your mileage is 100% if you like the original Mario Party before they started doing that weird, like, everyone get in a car together and that bullshit that they were doing was bad. Like, this is just classic, just hit a dice and you get some power-ups and it's Mario Party. It is just classic Nintendo 64 Mario Party. Shenanigans and everything that you hate about Mario Party is like here in full swing, man. You get fucked over at the last second still, just
where you'll have like 4 stars and no one else will have any, but you'll still manage to lose.
You still somehow lost. I wish it had more boards. It's not the
DLC,
best
baby.
Yeah, so like the DLC is going to be there to give you more boards. But
we've entered into the same problem.
Yeah, which is just
now. I actually think that DLC could happen for this one because they sort of did weird testing of the waters with Mario Party, Super Mario Party.
Yeah,
where they were kind of doing some online stuff and some of the things there. So I actually have a feeling that we could see DLC pop up for this guy.
You know, they confirmed there's DLC coming out for this. It's
did they? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the announced stuff that they scrapped for the last one that they're just adding.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, like, it's online and it works perfectly fine online. Like it's.
Wait, do you see this? Oh, well, let me back up here for a second.
They also,
what do you not see in this picture?
None of those are an OLED.
None of them are an OLED, baby.
Two lights, but not an OLED. Interesting choice.
Yeah. But like, the online stuff. But they also, these are really long games to like commit to playing against a bunch of strangers. Like even the shortest one, like if you choose like 10 spins or anything, it's still a half an hour out of your time. But they don't let you go to like 50 rolls, which is good.
For online. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, in general, this game doesn't have the option
in general,
for 50 rolls. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but
this was one of the best things to play in college. Like we played Mario Party 1 and 2 on the N64 and just had an absolute blast.
I think
and GoldenEye and Mario Kart.
Yeah, I think Mario Party is a perfectly fun game. I think when you strip it down to it just being this, there's no other bells or whistles to it. They didn't try to really shove too much in it. It's got the board game, it's got the mountain game where you just choose your board games and you just play. And it's
Mario Party 2 still had more game modes.
Yeah.
Well, they had
just saying.
There was the 3DS version, which was 100
which is just the mini games. Yeah,
it was just the mini games, which was almost like a predecessor to this specific.
Yeah,
game.
this is definitely like what if we took the 3DS game and made it actual Mario Party game. It looks very good too. Like it's like the boards actually look really good. Like this trailer doesn't do justice for how good the game actually turns out to look.
I was about to say, seeing the little like spots on the board and like how they're like curved and you kind of like see inside of them. It's really cute.
Yeah. It's I like Mario Party games. I think they're fun. It's again, mileage varies. This is a good way of playing Mario Party. If you've got a family or if you've got friends that'll pick it up, definitely. Like I'm able to. This Mario Party is a game that I can trick people that aren't video game players to play because everything's simple enough and it's just a board game at the end of the day. So and good effort from Nintendo. Again, though. The caveat being that it is $60, which is definitely not worth.
Yes.
But to me, it's fine. I don't care. What's money? You can't take it with you.
What else you got?
What was that? Into the Pit? That magic first-person boomer shooter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a roguelike. It's
on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
It's pretty fucking good. Yeah. It's pretty fun. I like that game an awful lot. It's got a cool aesthetic, and I like just different, like, I don't know, first-person magic use in a boomer shooter style is very fun for me. So it's fast. You get some cool spells, and you can sort of like upgrade them. You got a cool path that you're following, and it's
cool.
Again, I like that game
cool,
an awful lot.
When it's like your left hand shoots slow weapon like speed, and then your right hand is fast, or it's
it's like
scatter shot.
Yeah, it's basically like this is your shotgun, this is your pistol, but it's magic with on your hands.
And then you can like add a bunch of stuff to it, like add poison damage or like whatever. It's pretty. It feels good to play. I think is the most important thing.
Yeah. It's it's on Game Pass. Highly recommend that one. That's the last thing I've been playing. I got nothing else. Like I said, boring, short.
Okay. Taylor. What have you been playing?
Final Fantasy XIV next.
Zach, no, you're still rocking through that.
Yeah, so
how many days does he have,
Zach, how many days we got?
You got 17 days, bro.
So I have 17 days to finish Stormblood and then go through Shadowbringers.
Hey,
so that I can get
No sleep till Brooklyn, baby.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, so you have at least like 70 hours left, maybe, if you keep trucking.
Hold on. I need to do some quick math.
He
All right,
was
so
sending me messages like he was like, "Okay, I think I'm almost done." And then like 2 days later, he said, "I can't believe I'm still here." It's like
this was in the end end of Heaven's Word, the first expansion, and so the way that it runs is, they release the expansion. It has a bunch of content. Thanks, Corey. That's unusually positive of you. And then what so you have the main story, and then what, Zach? So over the course of the next
2 years,
they slow drip patches, which are actual story content, not just, hey, here's the next raid, which is what other MMOs do.
I don't know what other games do that, but yeah, it's like every 3 months they do a story patch, and so it's like each alternating patch. So it's like story content, and the story patches also have dungeons and stuff and trials. There are also like raids that get added to. So it's like alternating, but each alternating patch is a story content, which is like maybe 10 hours of story each for each little patch. So yeah.
So I knew that I was at the end, that I reached the end of the actual expansion, but then I got into the post game expansion content, and it had to have been another 15 hours of gameplay or something. I don't know. It kept going, and at this point, the Heaven's Ward expansion takes most of it takes place in a snowy area. And I'm like, I am done with this ice hellscape. Get me out of here. I want to go home.
And the next expansion's in Japan and in a desert, so it's kind of like, oh, fun. And then
it's a little more interesting. They introduced the ability to swim or to dive underwater. You could always swim on the surface, but yeah, no, it's been good. I want to fight the bad guys, and I am not yet fighting the bad guys.
Dude, there's this trial in there where you fight this dude, and there's an active time. It's there's like a QTE thing you have to do. It's so cool, man.
Oh no,
I love
it. Fail the QTE.
Like if you're a tank, if you're a tank, you get a big sword, and you have to smash your space bar to fight against the sword. It's fucking tight, man.
You're not talking about the Susanoo fight, are you?
Yeah. Okay, I just didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah, the Susanoo fight was cool. So basically, you go and you find a trinket for a bunch of Ninja Turtles, and then you return it to them, and it summons a giant spectral samurai, and then you have to fight him. Yeah, it was easy for me because I didn't have to do a QTE. All I had to do was the sword becomes something that I have to hit, and then I hit it, and then it goes away. It was very good. But it was a cool fight.
Yeah, they really come into their own during this expansion. They start doing some different types of encounters and trials and dungeons. It starts to become different and not like WoW. It's not like, oh, this is a WoW dungeon. It's like it becomes its kind of its own thing. So it's really fun to hit that stride, because this is where they finally started to get into it real hard, and it's sick. It gets so. The
Susanoo fight was noticeably different.
Yeah,
it wasn't just it just, the way that perspective changed as the fight went on, and the way that the bosses, because a lot of times the boss will enter and leave the stage, and that's normal. And then, as it leaves or enters, you'll have to do something in particular, whether it's fight ads or go to a spot or do something. But with the Susanoo fight, he leaves and then summons a giant sword, becomes bigger, and then you like what Zach just said about the QuickTime event, that was completely new for any of the dungeons that they had done so far.
Yeah. That game, they're so smart. Whoever makes those are just geniuses, man. because it's like it takes a lot to make a basic kind of combat of an MMO kind of like an encounter and make it different, and they're always trying to do something different, which is really like cool because you're playing those dungeons for hours and hours over and over and over again sometimes if you're grinding. So it's fun to have each class have a different specific role in each thing. It's just so cool. They smart design, and they're even better in the next expansion. I can't imagine what they're gonna be like in the next End Walker one, which comes out in 17 days, and it's exciting. But yeah, and then
so I have to play more than 4 hours a day. Ask me how much I'll play today. It's
how much
0.
Yeah,
it's
so
0.
4 hours after we're done here.
So that means you gotta play. That means you gotta play 8 hours tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm sorry. That's just.
I mean, maybe I'll get 1 hour in today. That was just, oh no.
The thing,
tick tock.
I'll
I have to take a week off.
I'll always say this about this game, but it's the best game to just play at your own pace. Like it's like even if you want to get to that expansion like right at the launch, like even if you're behind, it's not really gonna matter. Like the game is not gonna have any updates story wise for 3 or 4 months after the expansion comes out, so you still have time to catch up and like get there. So, and the game's designed to be taken at your own pace. It's designed to be played like a single player game. So it's not really going to be an issue.
Yeah, no, don't worry, because if it gets all the way there and I haven't made it, I'll just buy the story skip. Boom, I'll be ready. Damn. I'll be in the X-Pack, good to go.
Yeah, dude. So this next X-Pack is going to be like 70 hours. Apparently, is what they're teasing us with. Like it's the longest expansion yet.
Oh, really?
Biggest expansion, like double the size of this last one, which was like basically a 40-hour long JRPG, which is what the stories in these expansions are. So yeah, they're saying it's about 60 hours maybe. Yeah, and they'll also tell you, hey, you need to put some time aside because there's going to be 30 minutes of cutscenes. They also do that as well. So
they give you that warning every time. They're like, whenever you're about to start something where you're going to watch a cutscene, then do a single player mini encounter, and then watch another cutscene. It's like, hey, listen, you're about to get into a scenario where you're going to have to go for a while. Make sure that you don't have anything else to do. But can't knock it.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So that's I haven't had time to play anything else. What does my Steam say? Yeah, I mean, maybe I played a little bit more PoE. Maybe.
Pillars of Return.
Yes, no. Path of Exile. But I all games have to be dropped if I have any hopes. No other games.
Will you be able to play this on a Steam Deck? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, actually, so the Final Fantasy XIV is made for controllers. Awesome. The text UI scaling, I think, would be the hardest part. Because although it is made for PC and console, the one thing it was never truly intended for was small screen form factor. But considering the amount and the type of fans that Final Fantasy XIV have, I am sure that there was going to be a very, very specific particular guide on what is going to be best.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway,
it's really good on controller, by the way. Feels good on controller mode.
Zach, what have you been playing, my friend?
Oh man, okay, let's see. I've been playing Final Fantasy XI.
Oh my god, you're a monster.
I've been playing because listen, I am going to be playing Final Fantasy XIV for the next month straight, maybe after the expansion comes out. So I'm kind of in this like I'm chilling period. I'm going to play Final Fantasy XI, which is the other MMO I play. I have 3 MMOs I cycle through over the year. Final Fantasy XI, RuneScape, and Final Fantasy XIV. Those are my 3 games. Final Fantasy XI is so much fun because it's so weird. It's just like this ball of yarn that nobody knows anything about. It's kind of just sitting there. I just like to pick at it and figure things out. It's just such a old weird game that I like to play and talk to people in, just grind and whatever. So I've been doing that. The best way to compare what that game is, it's like you're doing, I don't know, it's like you're on a fetch quest constantly, but your fetch quests are like doing taxes kind of. That's kind of how that game feels. But I love it, and I'm just hanging out, talking to people, doing my thing. Yeah,
I love how that game just like, I don't know if it got a resurgence or what, but I hear way more about it now. Obviously, it got more content, which is kind of cool.
They are about to do a huge job class restructuring of how things are done over there. They keep adding new stuff every couple of months. Like, it's still pretty active. One of the servers is fully capped. You can't make new characters on it. Mm-hmm. Like, the game's still popular and going as hard as it's gone. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, they've done some huge class changes this year and quality of life stuff. And and each month they add a new end raid. They have this like constantly cycling like end raid that they put in that people have to figure out how to fight. So it's like a different thing throughout the year. So it's pretty cool. It's crazy that they have a team of people dedicated to making that game still. But hey, yeah, you gotta use like 3 launchers to even play it, but it's fun. You gotta like launch it, and you gotta go through the play online launcher, and you gotta log in on the play online launcher, then you gotta log into gotta go to the game on the play online launcher, and you gotta launch the game comes up, and it's whatever. Then if you want to add a friend, you can't add a friend in the game, you gotta add them in the play online launcher, you gotta go down the game. It's whatever. Yeah, so I've been playing that. And I've been playing a game on my Switch I got for review that is called Undernaut's Labyrinth of Yomi, which is a first-person dungeon crawler game, kind of like Etrian Odyssey, but not as good. It's just, yeah, it's like there's this thing that pops up in Japan called the Yomi, and people are going into it. People are not coming out. And it's just pretty basic. It's pretty basic, like dungeon crawler. You are part of this company called the Cassandra Company, I think is what it's called. Yeah, and you take, in this setting, the undesirables, which are mostly women in this setting, because men are running society outside. You're a guy running a team of women, children through this dungeon because they're not contributing to society enough outside and stuff. It's kind of heavy and kind of like strange. But yeah, it doesn't really do anything much with it besides like, hey, there's women digging into this dungeon. They're getting eaten up. It's not like a weird like sex pervert game either. It's just kind of just like bloody like first person dungeon crawler. Yeah, it feels, I don't know, it's not really that fun to play either, at least so far. I'm not really that impressed with it. I'm impressed with the story because the story is kind of like, oh, whoa, this is like leading into some potential weird politics with women being undesirables, being forced to like go into this mine and like be killed and stuff. But yeah, it hasn't gotten there yet. I don't think it's going to reach it because it's just like, your main character wakes up and all your friends are killed, and then they're like, go make your party. So you basically make a party of people that you don't even care about. They're just kind of stat sticks for you to push through a dungeon. And the dungeons has puzzles, but really you can just get through them by fighting dudes. Yeah, so I've been getting through that. It's gonna be $60. I don't think it's worth $60. So
okay,
but yeah. So yeah, I've been going through that a little bit. I don't even know when it comes out. I think it's out already for Switch. It's coming out on PC on the 4th of November, so 2 days, 3 days. Yeah, it's made by people who made Strangers in Sword City. What was it called? Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Stranger of Sword City. It's the exact same game. I played that as well. It's like, I guess it's like the old first person like PC, like 1998 Windows games called Wizardry. I think that's what it's called. It's a lot like that.
Okay.
It's kind of the vein of these games, which are very popular in Japan. Japan loves the Wizardry series, so it's kind of just a given. Yeah, so that's coming out. If it looks like your thing, definitely get it. But there's other good first-person dungeon crawlers that you can play, like Etrian Odyssey, or
Etrian Odyssey 2.
Etrian Odyssey 3, 4.
Did they get to 6 or was 5 the last one?
I think they did an Origins one, but that was a remake of 1. And there's that also that first person dungeon crawler by the Disgaea guy, Coven of something. Coven, that's a good one. But yeah, so yeah, and besides that, I've been playing Fortnite. I've been digging into some Fortnite recently. What? Fortnite's fun, dude. I'm pretty good at it. I've recently gotten good at building, which is the end game of Fortnite, which is insane.
There is no end game of Fortnite.
Dude, have you seen the inputs per second people doing that game? It's crazy, man. But yeah, it's just so fun. I love the back and forth game design of Fortnite. When you want to engage in combat with someone, there's an engagement. You shoot, and there's a mutual agreement. If that person wants to fight you, they're going to start fighting. But there's then you start boxing each other and building stuff. I love that mutual kind of let me figure out how to outstyle this dude. So I just love I love that a lot more than other battle royale games, because a lot of them you can just be a guy can pop out around the corner and pop you and you're dead. But in Fortnite, there's an engagement, and it's really fun to kind of figure out that section that you're in. Been playing Apex as well, which is another battle royale that I like. It's one that requires aiming and shooting, unlike the other ones. It's very fun. It's like you have to know your corners, you have to know your angles, you have to know your bullet drop. It's a very nerdy game. It's a very sweaty game, but it's fun.
Very sweaty game. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a sweaty game. If you want to play, you gotta sweat, man. That game is nuts. Yeah, and then Dragon Quest XI has been my main game for the past couple of weeks. Actually, I've been just going back through that. I need something chill. I need to grind. My brain's broken. I need to grind on something. So I'm I want to replay Dragon Quest XI. I never played the special edition, so I brought it upon myself because I watched a Tim Rogers video where he was talking about it. I was like, I need to go back to Dragon Quest XI, and yeah, so I've been doing that. Game's amazing. I don't know if there's much I can say that hasn't been said, but it's just kind of a classic, perfect JRPG.
It really is. Yep.
I will say I don't like that it's called PEP powers, or in Japanese. Tim Rogers brings this up. It's called the Zone in Japanese, and it sounds a lot cooler. It's like your character's in the zone instead of being that your character's pepped up. So, I mean, I'm just saying that. Yeah, that game's gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's so well written. The combat is killer, especially if you know what you're doing, because you can make your dudes pretty dumb, strong. You spec Eric into dual wielding and give him +2 swords, and he's just going sicko mode on people. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of in a lull before Final Fantasy XIV comes out. But I mean, I'm not really in a lull. I'm playing a bunch of games, but yeah.
When does Shin Megami Tensei come out?
Oh fuck! Shin Megami Tensei comes out
next Friday, baby.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
No.
I'm literally never playing it.
I'm literally tempted just to cancel my. I'm tempted to cancel my pre-order because it's I'm not gonna have time. There's literally.
I would cancel it if it would literally ever go on sale, but it won't. Yeah. By the time that I do want to play it.
Oh, yeah? There you go. Yeah.
I don't think it will.
No, SMT3, whatever, went on sale like 2 weeks after it was released earlier this year. So I could see Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, but that was also on
they
PC,
did
not
Nocturne
on
HD
Nintendo
and PS4. Yeah, it was on Nintendo.
Oh, you're talking about the Nocturne remake?
Yeah, the Nocturne remake. Yeah.
That doesn't count, Dally. We're not. That's not a Switch exclusive. I mean, to my recollection, SMT5 is still only coming out on Switch. That shit ain't going on sale.
Unless that Nvidia leak was real, then it's coming to PC.
Then it's coming to PC. Let me tell you guys what I've been playing.
Please.
I have to send this tweet out right now so I can show you.
Oh,
guys. I'm going to share my screen. Go. Were you going to say something?
No, I wanted to. I forgot I was going to just bring this up. I was going through some like an old box, and I think I mentioned this the other week when we were talking about Metroid.
Yeah.
So this is. Yeah, I'm sure it's reversed for you guys, but so I found my card for Metroid Prime Hunter's First Hunt, which I think came with every original DS. The big brick DS.
Yeah.
And yeah, I watched the video that they played. You know, that was on the cart. I watched that a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, damn.
I actually liked First Hunt or Metroid Prime Hunters. It was
controls,
it was
whatever. But all right, here's what
controls were less good. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that he was playing good video games.
Dude, Dusk is sick, man.
Yes, I know this game is like 3 years old, right? But
it's all right. I haven't played it yet.
It's on. This is the first time I'm playing it on the Switch. First of all, Dusk is just a fantastic fucking game. I gotta say, it's a really
so good,
really, really good game just in general. So if you're gonna play it on anything. The Switch port is fucking unbelievable. So as good as the Quake port was earlier this year, back in, what was it, like August or July or something? Dusk is better on the Switch than the Quake port was.
I believe it.
When you're done, I was just reminded of something that I need to talk about a little bit. Though.
Okay. But it's just so good. You could do, you can have what do they call it? You can turn the gyro on. Let's see, in gyro. I'm not going to invert. What am I, stupid? But it's got. First of all, it's got a bajillion settings on here. It looks so good from input settings. Like I said, there's just accessibility up the wazoo on this guy. Controller layout stuff. You can do a bunch of stuff here for like color palettes, and
they have an FOV slider.
Oh, a Switch game with an FOV slider.
It's awesome. Like, look at that.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Sick.
It's fucking sick. I've been playing it portable, and in handheld mode, this is fucking awesome. In handheld mode, this isn't even the Coca-Cola can talking. This is me saying it feels really good. And obviously you can ready, check this out. This is one of my favorite things. So yeah, weapon size, all that stuff, and then let's up the pixelization even more. Kind of jaggy, nostalgic, summer of '94, rather chunky, Grandpa's 386. But really cool, just really cool accessibility. Okay, get the actual game. Obviously got all the campaign stuff on there. You can select all the different episodes, level select. It's got this kind of 3 main episodes and stuff. I've been playing endless mode because you can go through these different modes that are kind of related, but they've added one for this release. Ready? The Palace. Let me know if this looks. I'm gonna go. I can take it. Let me know if this locale looks looks familiar. First of all, look at it. Come and eat viscera over a campfire to restore health. Press any button. All right, here we go. Ready? What is this place look like?
It's Mario.
It's the princess's castle. It's so good that they just kind of they're like, fuck it, let's just do it.
Have you done a backflip yet?
They have a dedicated button for like diagonal jumps and
Okay, cool.
it's so cool. It just
Yeah.
This game is all about shooting, which I love, and there's a lot of fucking shooting in Dusk, and it really reminds me of. I mean, obviously, it reminds. Look at this. Oh, there you are, you bastard! It does remind me of. Okay, so boomer shooter. You guys know what boomer shooters are, right? It's all about the reliving the games from the 90s with that style and aesthetic. But this captures everything I loved about that era. Oh, here's the fucking crossbow. Let's see, is there a little bad guy out there? It's everything I've loved about the era, which was just things get really pixelated when you're up close, like this, and my dumbass tries to jump up there. Awesome enemies everywhere. Look at I'm on top of a castle right outside again. Oh, here you are. Look at these guys are jumping out at me. And it's just like visuals, like animations are wonky, which is great because everything is, back then stuff was real stiff. But here's one thing I really love is you turn on the flashlight. Oh, I died. I should probably watch Rosie. You turn on the flashlight from like way over here, and it lights up the entire castle. Get out of here! It's so good. It's the kind of game where I was playing it all Halloween weekend because it's perfect. It's the kind of game where you could just chill and you're like, what? I feel like just killing a bunch of these weird horned animals and just for no reason. I just feel like having a good time.
It's absolutely it's absolutely the best example of this like subgenre of shooter. This boomer shooter kind of thing. And it's just it right down to like your character running at what was clearly superhuman speeds.
Yes.
Well, it's like it's a good game when the people who are dedicated to the genre kind of say that this is like the best game in the genre, even though it came out 3 years ago. Like, it's a stellar game. The guys who made it, the two dudes, there's only two dudes. They're great. They have a new game coming out soon, so you should probably play that. But yeah, and the guy who did the music for this also went on to do the rest of the music for Doom after what's his face left. It's so fun.
It's just so good. Yeah. Anyways, it's got a whole story mode built into it, and it's. If you got a Switch, I mean, I don't want to sound like a salesman. If you got a Switch, get this. It's just fun. And this is just one of the levels. Right?
I mean, if you've got a machine that can play a video game, it's just basically
Yes, you got a machine that can play video games. Get this. It's on Switch, and it'll be great. I mean, it's great on Switch. I love the gyro and the HD rumble. It's great on. It's like great on everything it's on. It's going to be great on the Steam Deck and everything else like that. So. I'm required to say that for Taylor. It's going to be great on the Steam Deck.
Thank you.
But no, there's tons of things to do in the game. I mean, honestly, I want to say there's tons of things to do. There's plenty of nostalgic joy to be had in.
It's like Doom Eternal.
Scratches an itch. Yeah.
It's like Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, where they're like, we know why you're here, and here it is, and here is a lot of it.
Exactly. Yeah. We know why you're here. Here.
Yep.
And this is great. I love the gyro controls are awesome.
The level design is also like really good too. I mean, I could talk about this game for forever because I just love the design, love everything.
And you've been playing this obviously a lot longer than I have. That's the one thing that I absolutely love about this game. Isn't necessarily who's shooting at me? Isn't necessarily
there's a little rat on the ground.
Oh dang! There you are. Isn't the weapons or the amount of weapons or whatever, or just the shooting? It's the level design is great. I mean, it's what I remember about 90s FPS games, like 90s shooters, but obviously much more modernized, and they've taken the team is they've taken advantage of just things that have changed in development over the years in terms of like the demands of the gaming public and kind of what we're used to. Check this out. This is awesome. Let's do this. Bam. Yeah. So each of these levels, like the first one has like This level has military. The first one has like these weird satanic clan things, and the third one is just completely bonkers. I won't give that away, but again, the game is like 3 years old, so whatever. Jon Snow dies. Sorry for the spoiler. It's just great. I highly recommend it, and
you can do a backflip if you jump high enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do.
You can have 2 shotguns, jump and do a flip and shoot a clan's.
It's just so crazy. It's so crazy. All right, look at this. Look at this. It's just great, it's just great on. I'm playing it on the Switch. I've been playing it portable, and I'm really surprised at how well it functions on the Switch. And actually, apparently there've been a couple bugs. I haven't come across any, but yeah, it's what I remember about those old games. I fucking love it. I'm really glad I got to play this, and I look forward.
I'm glad you took it because
yeah,
I wanted someone on staff to play it, and I'm glad you took it because I mean I've played the shit out of it, and so it's JJ.
Yeah, so have I.
So really, really good, totally enjoyable. Definitely go for it. Now I got another game. Let's see if this works. I have to stream. Something here. Let's see if that.
Is it from your phone? Is it the game I think it is?
It very well might be. Let me get this thing started here. If my 4K utility thing will start. I'm on Windows 11, so stuff is kind of all over the place right now. So bear with me a second so I can get things up and running.
I can't believe you first generation Windows 11. That's just.
You guys know me. I will gladly take technology for the team as a dummy so that I can and see now it doesn't want to work. I'm gonna actually play this live. Come on, Task Manager. I don't understand this new Task Manager. Oh, here we go. All right, background process. End this sucker. There we go. Now I can restart this.
Podcast just dies.
It's not gonna work, is it? Son of a pumpkin pie. Dang it. I was really hoping I could show son of a pumpkin pie.
Hey guys, Minecraft comes to Game Pass tomorrow.
But does it really?
Comes to Game Pass.
It was already up and running. Let me share my screen now so you guys can see what I'm playing. This is how bad things are for me. The app had loaded in the background and I hadn't seen it. So share my screen. Check this great thing out, guys. I've been playing a new pedometer. The Pikmin game. This is pretty cool. Let's see if this works out. So it's literally just an animated step counter.
This is Pokemon Go.
This is like a hundredth of what Pokemon Go is. I really like Pikmin. Pikmin is great. I love the little Pikmin characters and all that kind of stuff. And this is barely even that. It just makes walking, just makes walking even more interesting. So
Valley's gonna somehow dox himself playing this.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say.
Anyways, you can see the little flowers here, right? So every time I walk around any neighborhood, doesn't look like my neighborhood at all. No, you walk around anywhere and you turn the little flower thing on here, and you hit the start button. I'll select this flower here. Hit the start with that, and all the Pikmin that you've rescued will have they'll bring you fruit. So you bring the fruit.
Yeah, this is so different than Pokemon Go. Yeah.
The fruit you feed the Pikmin. You'll see here in a second if it catches up. You get the fruit there. You feed the Pikmin. They give you flowers, and then you just go walking. And all it is literally just a fancy pedometer, just a step counter. But I like having it on because it just kind of makes my neighborhood look pretty. And I've gone to a few places, kind of opened up the app in a few areas, and I've seen other people put flowers in there, which is kind of cool. But and it's just
I'm surprised anybody else has done it.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's more than one Pikmin fan.
Me too.
It's kind of bullshit that they just don't make your Mii look like a Olimar or something. It's like put a space suit on him at least. Jesus Christ!
If you log it, I've logged in with my Nintendo online account thing, and then you get to use your actual you get to use your actual wing. But then you can grow Pikmin, you get seeds, and you can grow them. And let's see how many do I got left. Steps here. Yeah, these steps add up, and then you'll see here in a second. And then you can grow Pikmin and add them to your team.
I could just play
That's
Pikmin. I mean,
you could just play Pikmin. That's all. I just wanted to kind of show. I've been using this just as another step counter that I have. I think I have like 6 step counters in my life that I use. So,
are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I walk a lot. Let me tell you about the now. If this was an NFT,
Pikmin
with that, I think that's
Pikmin.
it, guys. I think that's it.
Let me I forgot to mention a game.
Yeah,
I forgot to mention a game, and I'm not done with it yet, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I will say I've been playing Dying Light Switch port.
Oh yeah.
That's a really impressive Switch port. Like, probably one of the most impressive Switch ports. Like, it's Dying Light was already kind of a butt ugly game. And this doesn't do it any justice in any way, shape, or form. But like, it runs really well, and like, it doesn't look that much different than like playing the. It sounds shitty to say like it feels like the Dying Light, a game that's almost a decade old at this point on the Switch. But for something that's just like this FPS zombie game that's in it's solid. It's this frame rate. They've been patching the hell out of it too. So like, the frame rate's solid. It like in handheld mode, it looks really good. Like I'm playing it on the OLED, and it looks pretty. You put it on the TV and don't
Put on the TV and don't.
Yeah, no. It's definitely a handheld thing. Just stick to handheld mode. But like, Dying Light's a fun game. I kind of forgot how much fun I had playing Dying Light. Like, just kind of parkouring across rooftops, trying to fight off these zombies and get to safety before the sun comes down and shit. Like, it's a fun game. It's great for the Switch. I wouldn't want to sit down and like sit in front of my computer and play it again, but like laying in bed and playing Dying Light at night, during the spooky hours, when the sun's down, I'm sitting there playing Dying Light. Really, really fun way of playing it. And they're doing a really good job, and they're really kind of open about it too. Like, they'll post routinely the patches that they just did and the patches that are coming and stuff. Like, it's not just a dump it and run kind of port. Like, they actually seem to give a shit about this weird out of date port for the Switch, which I'm kind of impressed. They clearly want the
who did the port for this one?
I think it's, as far as I can tell, I don't know, because it certainly seems like the same. It's in house.
Okay, all right.
Wait, so does that version have all the DLC on it?
Yeah, it's the complete edition. It's the platinum.
There's a DLC for that game where it's like a dungeon crawler where you're going through just random dungeons and fighting like skeletons. That's weird. Yeah. It's weird how much that game feels like a modded version of like an Elder Scrolls game. It feels like a really janky like Skyrim mod. It's so strange.
But yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm not super deep into it, but I already played through Dying Light before, and just playing this again, like, I'll talk about it more when I really get into like when the game starts becoming a little more what the late game stuff ends up being. But
I've never played Dying Light, and
I mean, if you can, if it's something that interests you, the Switch port's a good way of playing it. Like, it's Mirror's Edge. I mean, it has a lot of the same, like, push R1 to jump is a weird. I don't necessarily like that, but it's still like, once you get used to it, it runs really well. You zone in on exactly what the game is asking of you for your parkour stuff real fast.
It's very simulation heavy.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of gathering resources and making weapons and finding blueprints and really having to manage like repairs and all that stuff. It's really heavy into that stuff. So
it's fun though. And the DLC they add later, there's like the biggest DLC they have is like you're just going around on the countryside and like a big rover, kind of just like exploring. Like they just kind of just do whatever.
They just kind of went wild with Dying Light at a point. So,
which is why I'm confused why Dying Light 2 is so contained, so feels smaller. It doesn't feel like the evolution of what this game is. That's why I'm very confused about that game.
But we get plenty of emails about Dying Light and all of its promotional materials. So
yes,
Dying Light 2 is coming to the Switch as one of those cloud games, and I can't imagine a FPS like this playing particularly well as a cloud game. So.
Hey, if it's as good as Guardians of the Galaxy,
exactly.
It might be a pretty fantastic.
That's it. I just wanted to let people know if they were interested in Dying Light that it's so far so good. It's a worthy port. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave you all with one last little thing that I think is really kind of worth checking out, worth knowing. And I think this is again, thank you everybody for joining us this week on the SideQuest. As always, it's a joy to have everybody here and chat with y'all, and we'll see you in the Discord, because the Discord is the place to be. You can find the link below. Find the link below. That's the only thing I can point to that's correct. Find that link below. You can find us at sidequesting.com, sidequesting TV, everywhere, blah blah blah. I'm Dolly Demosky. That's ZachQuest. Over there in the corner is JJ Holder. And where can we find you else, JJ?
Disney Compendium. DisneyCompendium.com.
Taylor Bliss.
Yeah.
And just to
you'll find me in Final Fantasy XIV, because it's the only thing I have time for.
That's right. I'm gonna hit this button here real quick. I'm leaving you guys with this. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everybody. Take care. Thanks for listening to The Side Quest. Goodbye, everybody. There's the pose.
Yeah. Really makes you think.
House of Dank.
House of